Welcome back to DeJ'scussions, where we discuss the difficult, the uncomfortable, the unpopular, or the unknown about people or social topics. Today especially, this is going to be a difficult episode for me. Normally when I tackle topics, I tackle things that I'm ready to talk about, things that I have pondered about, things that I have had ample time to work on before I come and talk about them with other people. But today, I want to talk about grief, I want to talk about loss, and I want to talk about how my late mother-in-law has impacted and fueled DeJ'scussions behind the scenes. That's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about how the loss of her and the grieving process of her has made me want to stop. It's made me want to be paralyzed and stopped in my tracks. And not a lot of people put weight when you say my boyfriend's mom. They're just like, oh, I'm so sorry. How's your boyfriend doing? But no one has ever really stopped to ask me how, or I shouldn't say no one. Not a lot of people have stopped to ask me how I feel, because that was my mom. I had the privilege of her treating me exactly like I was her daughter. So I want to talk about how this process of losing her has actually made me gain something. Watching someone you care about in the hospital deteriorating creates a lot of anxiety. It makes you feel very anxious. It creates a lot of anxiety, and anxiety sets the stage and rolls out the red carpet for depression to strut its way in and take root into your emotions and your thoughts and your mind. I have had a very hard time with keep going and to keep going. And she created something called Resilient Me. And she has shown me resilience ever since I've met her. She's been preparing me to be resilient after her passing since I've met her, and I don't think she knew, and I don't think I knew that that's what was happening. She had a lot to fuel with DeJ'scussions. She had a lot of influence on it, and I wrote a blog post January 10th, 2022, about how small experiences throughout your life sow seeds of purpose for big things later down the line. And she read my blog post and she said, Deej, she took the time out to read my blog post, but she said, Deej, that blog post was amazing and it was so true. And I'm so proud of what you've said and what you've did and what you've done with that blog post. And she poured into me that day. And it was a blog post simply of me just putting my heart out there of what I feel like God placed into me to say. And that meant a lot that she took time out of her day to read, because I know a lot of people didn't read it. A lot of people don't read things, but she took the time out of her day to read it. Later, I recorded more videos for DeJ'scussions, and we were sitting in the living room one day. It was her, my father-in-law, and my boyfriend. We were all there, and he had them. I was so insecure about the videos, and I didn't like them. I didn't like how I sounded. I thought they sounded dumb, and it was stupid, and X, Y, and Z. And she watched them, and she looked at me. She was like, DeJ'scussions, what about that is bad? What about that sounds dumb? You sound amazing. You sound great. It's the concepts that you're grasping and speaking to people. There's some adults, people that are older than you, that can't grasp it. She said, that was amazing. You have nothing to think, or no reason to think that these videos are bad. And she fueled me. And I've realized that through the loss of her, she has sown resilience into me. Through this process, I've realized with the loss of her that I gained application of her words. They carry so much more weight when you know. The words of somebody carry so much more weight when you know you can't get any more words from them. When they've spoken and you will not hear them speak again from their body. You can only hold on to the memories and the things that they've given you and how they've poured into your life. And I gained application from her. Through the loss of her, through the loss of my mother in love, and there's nobody on this planet like her. Through that, I've gained application. I've been able to apply those words and to go in and to move forward, to push forward, because that's what she would want. Don't allow loss to have you stop in your tracks, to paralyze you from moving to the next steps of your life. Gain something from loss. Gain movement from loss. Don't allow loss to deprive you from new experiences, new memories, new people. One of the last things she said in the last video that she created for her Resilient Me conference, she said, "You never know who you're going to meet, and you never know who you're going to empower." And I believe she was talking to other people, but what she didn't know was she was empowering. That was her conference was one of the last times she spoke out in public like that. And she didn't know she was empowering the rest of us for the rest of our lives, because that was going to be some of the last things that she said. So I realized that in her conference, it was called her Resilient Me conference, she came and she called me up and she said, and we had a conversation prior to this a couple weeks before, telling her how insecure I was and how I wasn't confident about my show. I wasn't confident about things, just in life. I wasn't confident about myself. And she said to me, she said, "No longer will you question the gifts that God has given you. No longer will you question the talents and the gifts and the things that he's placed inside of you. You will go in confidence. You will go knowing that God has equipped you for the things that you have in life." And she didn't know that those were going to be words that I was going to apply after the fact of her passing. So I just say that through loss, please make sure that you gain something out of that. Gain something and move forward. Gain new experiences. Gain new memories, because you never know through what you've lost how that will apply to the future. I just want to say that I love her. I loved that lady. I still love her. And I want to thank you, Mom, for pouring into me. And even when you were struggling, even when you were in pain, the days after chemo or hard days where you were in pain and it was hard to just live, that you decided to pour into me anyway. You decided to encourage me anyway. I was with you the last time that you drove. We went to Ashley Stewart. And you bought me things. You bought me a piece of clothing for your conference. And that meant so much to me because you were having difficulty that day. And I just want to thank you for all of your sacrifices for me, that how much you poured into me, that in a year and a half of knowing you, we've had a lifetime of conversations. And every single thing that we've talked about, I will be able to apply for the rest of my life. That it's your words that I have to hold on to. It's your words that I can apply. So as much as I miss you, as much as I want you back, as much as I want you here, I've realized that your words already carried a lot of weight, but with you not being here, your words carry so much more weight. And I will cherish them, I will honor them, and I will respect your words forever, because that's who you were. And I will move forward. I will keep going, and I won't stop what I'm doing because I'm sad. I will continue doing what I need to do because that's what you would have wanted me to do. Loss is hard, but what you gain out of the loss is so special. And I gained application of your words through losing you. So I say, for you guys, this was a difficult talk because I'm still in this process. I'm still grieving her. I'm still grieving the loss of her. And I'm still dealing with the fact that I won't get her back. But I just want to encourage everybody to keep going, no matter how hard the loss is, no matter how difficult the loss is, no matter whether you lost a person because they passed away or you lost someone because you can't deal with them anymore. You have to create boundaries. Whatever it is, keep going, keep moving forward. Don't stop. There is more to life. There's more to live for. There's more that you were created for to keep going. And don't allow struggles to stop you from progressing and moving on and doing what you've been called and created to do. You're created to keep going. You're created to live life. So I thank you guys for joining me. And this was just another addition to the introduction of DeJ'scussions, the home improvement series. We're doing remodeling to our homes. We're remodeling our minds. We're renewing our minds. So please just join me in my series. Please don't forget to follow me on all my social media platforms. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and press the alarm button so that you can get notifications for every time I release a new episode. Thank you guys so much for joining me today.